Seems like Nabi is not going anywhere. And with him not going anywhere, he is busy. Busy doing what? That's exactly what we're going to talk about. And we're also going to talk about the people who have left Kaizer Chiefs already, and some good news again for Kaizer Chiefs. Guess this is a good news video. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club, as you can hear from my voice. Some of you don't really care, but yeah, I have flu. That's why I didn't record yesterday. So Nabi is not leaving Kaizer Chiefs. So it seems, because he was spotted in Tanzania with the one and only the scout of Kaizer Chiefs, looking and watching games in Tanzania. Clearly Nabi wants these players who are playing in Tanzania, and I don't think that he's still just scouting, but he's going there for players like Abu Faisal Salum, but also there's more, because there's this guy by the name of Dennis Kibu, who is a left winger. You would have seen him in the thumbnail, so sorry that I'm not showing you the picture. So Dennis Kibu is a left winger. He is from Tanzania. He is 26. He currently plays for Simba. And a quick search on Google to check on transfer market, he is worth 175,000 euros. Yeah, so that means it's a conversion of about 3 million to 5 million rands, because I'm sure that the market valuation would have increased, especially this year, since he was playing the CAF Champions League, the CAF Confederations Cup, and he scored 4 goals in 13 appearances. Fortunately, the stats of the Tanzanian league are not that well kept, so I tried looking up, but I didn't see. And as I've already said to you, players who seem to be who are scouted by Nabi, I trust, especially since I see that he's hands-on in the process of scouting the players. I trust them. So I'm not gonna say I watched his video, I saw he's brilliant, because I also am not the person who watches highlights. Literally, it's in the name, the high moments of a player, and think, okay, this is a quality player. But if Nabi, who was in Tanzania and watched the player play and he thinks and is convinced, then I'm all for it. So and if you look at the price tag that he has right now, his contract expires in 2026. So Simba might have to sell, because if they wait until next year, then he leaves on a free, unless they have an option, which is usually the case with most of these contracts. But if they have an opportunity once again to cash in 5 million rands, they could even ask for 10, because his portfolio or his quality has improved clearly this season, or rather his price tag has gone up. But we're not just there, because while he's in Tanzania, clearly Nabi will likely come back with a midfielder. Why am I even saying this? Because I looked at Kaizer Chiefs' youth page thingy, and they confirmed what we're thinking. Specifically, Tati is gone, not released, but his contract expired. So one of the players who was likely going to be promoted to the senior team, gone, contract not renewed. And then you have the captain Kosi from TDC as well. People thought how he was going to get promoted, was going to give us something, blah blah blah. Also gone. So they didn't stop there, because they then went on and they said, Matlo, we're not extending your contract. It's been reported, multiple sources. But on top of that, they then released Usabelo Hadebe, who, to be fair, went to Richards Bay and did not offer them anything. They brought him back to Kaizer Chiefs, and then Chiefs are like, we're gone. And that's been confirmed by the club. In fact, while I'm recording this video, there could be something on Kaizer Chiefs' Twitter. This is me literally looking in, just to make sure that Chiefs are not saying anything. In any case, I'm just seeing Jeremy Zred, Frimpong to Liverpool. That's good news. But on Kaizer Chiefs' thing, they are just saying, this is the statement. As 2025 season concludes, the club is preparing for changes, which is our usual routine at the end of each campaign. While there is a lot of speculation and unverified information circulating, we encourage all Kaizer Chiefs supporters to stay tuned to our official platforms for authentic updates. We will share information as soon as we are ready to communicate and the relevant paperwork is complete. We're looking forward to a good season ahead. We would like to once again thank the Amakosi faithful for the love and support. So basically, they are saying don't believe YouTubers, because YouTubers will tell you, like me, about rumors that are happening, moves that might or might not happen, but they will confirm once it's done. So Tina, we will talk about the process, but some processes won't always materialize as such. Chiefs are saying, please be careful. Anyways, but again, we're not there, because we know that the confirmed thing, Uguti, the two boys, Utati and Hatebe, and also Khosi, are all gone. So that's where we are. And we also saw that Nabi is definitely in Tanzania. So that's another aspect of this whole thing. So this makes me wonder, because I've already seen this in before we talk about the last good news. This makes me wonder, right? The thing of Nabi leaving, as Chief said, there are a lot of false news circulating and all of that stuff. Have you ever heard the thing of where there is fire, where there is smoke, there is fire? I think that, as it was reported by some people, that Chiefs actually did want, not Chiefs, but some in the club wanted Nabi gone, but the what are you talking about? But the chairman himself said no to Nabi leaving. And that's where this whole thing turned around, because he was tired of impulsive people. And also, we need to understand this. Out of all them Downs, the one person who really played football for the longest time, it's not Kaizer Chiefs, the sporting director, certainly not Bobby Mdown, certainly not Jessica Mdown, but it's their father. So that means he's the one who understands the business better. He's the one who understands football better. And he's gotten to a point where he's like, you know what? You guys have been firing coaches left and right and center, and I've been giving you the permission, because I'm sure it happened with his approval. But also, stories can be twisted, and then by the time it gets to the old man, it's twisted that Gavin Hunt did this, we didn't like that, Gavin Hunt is doing this. And he's been listening to them over the years, saying the coach is wrong, so he must go. But now he's finally like, you know what, Nabi's not going anywhere, I'm telling him to stay. That is why Nabi actually, when he was talking to the journalist, they were like, oh, so you talked to the management? He's like, no, I did not talk to the management, I talked to the chairman, to clearly state that if Nabi stays, that means that came from the chairman. Because clearly, for him to indicate that, no, I specifically talked or spoke to the chairman, that tells me that there's something there of saying, you know what, the person above everyone else on the board is saying we need to get quality players. So if the chairman is saying let's get quality players, it doesn't matter what the sporting director, it doesn't matter what the marketing director or the team manager or the oldest son says, it does not matter. What matters is Kaizer Chiefs Senior. If he says Nabi stays, Nabi will stay. If the chairman says get Nabi quality players, they will get Nabi quality players, because the final boss has spoken. Speaking of people who have spoken, 4 Kaizer Chiefs players have been called up to the Kosafa, and some people are angry at this announcement. Bruce Vuma, Aiden McCarthy, Thabo Cele, and Wandile Duba, 4 players who've been called up to the senior national, to the Kosafa Cup. And people are like, no, why are they not getting called up to Bafana Bafana? You seriously want Bruce Vuma to get called up to Bafana Bafana? And being serious. And as for Cele, playing in a poor team, as much as he shines, but sometimes you need to assess the best player of a poor team against other good players and see how good he plays. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes some players, and I'm not saying that's the case with Thabo Cele, he's just very good, but sometimes some players will shine just because the team is bad. I'm not saying that's the case with Cele, but Bruce Vuma, Hugo Bruce might have said, call Thabo Cele to Kosafa and see what he says. Because if he shows some attitude, then Bruce will never call him up to the senior national team. So for those people who are saying Thabo Cele should withdraw from the Kosafa national team call-up, he shouldn't. Because if he does that, then Hugo Bruce will say, I gave him an opportunity to prove me that he can perform at Kosafa. Then if he can perform at Kosafa, then it's only natural that Bruce will then call him up to the senior national team. I mean, we have Ustole, who's been out for a while. We have AFCON at the end of the year. If Thabo Cele says no to Bruce for Kosafa and he says, I'm bigger than Kosafa, then it doesn't get the call up in December. So we should stop with these advices of, Naman, he disrespects you, why is he not calling you up for other games? Bruce knows what he wants. Bruce sees what he wants. Perhaps some other things Thabo Cele that might not have, that Aubas and Mkwena and Stole have. Do you see what those three have? I just want to give you a second. Did you guess physicality? Thabo Cele is not that big of a player, right? So maybe Hugo Bruce is looking at the physicality of the players that he already has in the squad. You look at a player like Luke Leroux, right? He always gets called up in the Bafana squad, but he barely plays. And then you compare the people who play ahead of him, and then you see that maybe Hugo Bruce just wants players who are a bit more physical in that 6th role. So before we jump into saying, even Talent Mbata, look at Talent Mbata. He's tall, he's much more physical than Thabo Cele. Do I think Talent Mbata is better than Cele? Hell no. But, is he more physical than Thabo Cele? Definitely. So what if Bruce is looking for that? So people like jumping into conclusion. But even for me right now, I know as a coach that my team has this many players. I know what I'm lacking. Like right now, Monge is one of my very best defensive midfielders. He's not available. He's writing exams. So now we're struggling, we're scrambling, trying to find someone to play in that role for him. You understand what I'm saying? So coaches have different things and different pieces of puzzles that they want in their team. You have players like Paulo Dybala who never played for Argentina because there was Messi in that role. You understand what I'm saying? You have Griezmann who went to Barcelona, struggled to play when Messi was there because they were playing the same position. So sometimes it's not about beef with this player or beef with the team. Sometimes it's just purely based on the profile of a player and you probably not needing him for that system. Ele goes to Kosafa, he proves himself, and then all of a sudden he gets a call up in December. You know what I mean? Far too. Let me know what you thought about today's news down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals al Pelumoy.